if I could afford it, and if I felt that I needed it. Right now I feel like I have a well-balanced lifestyle, and maybe if I was just having a hard time living life or something, or...
I think for me, I've been to a therapist, but not for a very long time. I think for me, there are certain life experiences, things might happen that you need a sort of second person's point of view on. That you can get so stuck in it that you're struggling to see what it properly is. And it could be any number of things, from a breakup to the death of a family member or friend, or any of these things that is really hard to get yourself out of and sort of see what it is. It could be even more minor, like losing a job or changing something, any number of things. I think I would go back to a therapist to gain perspective on a specific situation or struggle. Last time I did it was my parents' divorce.
Actually, maybe when I feel like I need to talk to someone and I don't want to talk to someone immediate, then I actually considered doing that like maybe a few months ago, because then I felt like I was putting so much work into something and I wasn't seeing results. And then I felt like, no, I can't do this anymore. I was at the point of actually going to see a therapist. But then I called myself, decided to take time off everything I was doing and just like keep calm and try to reassess the situation, and everything came back to normal. So basically, if I feel like something is going out of control, I would go and see a therapist.
I would sort of consider going to a therapist. We're talking about a psychologist, right? If I had a behavior that started to affect my life. So if I got very depressed, if I started, for example, becoming an alcoholic, or something serious happened like that, where I'm no longer able to function properly.
To a therapist? Under any kind of psychological distress, because a therapist really gives you the instruments of how to handle your ways of thinking, because that field has undergone so much evolution that it is no longer something that only extreme cases have to deal with. As a student of business management, I think I have to have the most effective and most efficient means of thinking to eliminate any sort of logical fallacies, distortions of perception or something like that. Yeah.
I think that many people misunderstand what a therapist can be used for and how they can help you. So for example, I have used a therapist to help with career or life changes when I needed someone who I could get a soundboard off of goals I've made and progress I'm making, and they can help me refine those goals and make career changes or meet certain goals that I want to make. I think going to a therapist when you realize you've had some issues that affect your ability to live well, that maybe you notice or recognize that you have a lot of anger or a lot of issues, or maybe you've experienced a lot of trauma in your life that you'd like to deal with. So there's so many different ways that you can use a therapist to help improve your life.
If I can't help myself, if something has happened and you need to overcome this and there has to be certain help provided, then probably yes.
I can't see me willingly volunteering to go to a therapist.
It's probably the family that you think of immediately, the family, friends. In our country, in Ukraine, I would say it's not very common that people go to therapists, and for one of the reasons is that they might not be very good, or you have to know someone who's really good, and they charge quite a lot as far as I heard. So it's probably, we still deal with issues with friends and family, so I think the same applies to Britain, no?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I think the culture of going to therapists is very American. You know, you see, whether it's true or not, you do see it a lot in the movies, and it's in the kind of culture of therapy also. and a lot of sort of drug. Not
Yeah, that's a
drug
scary
cul-
point.
you know, Prozac and antidepressants. Whereas in the UK, that's not something that is sort of that prevalent, or at least wasn't when I left. So it's not something I would think about.